It was a night that felt like a cheap suit. Thin, wet, and not worth the trouble. My office smelled like wet wool, and the kind of bad decisions that usually end up in the obituary section. I was staring at the bottom of my mug, looking for answers I knew I wouldn't find. It's open. Unless you're the landlord, then I'm in Tahiti. Mr. Steele, I was told you were discreet. She said discreet. What she meant was corrupt. That was fine. Corruption pays for better whiskey anyways. Discreet costs extra. Honesty costs you a fortune. What's your flavor, madame? Damien is missing. Damien? Damien. Does he know you're here? If he knew, he wouldn't be missing. He'd be dead. She was lying, of course. In this town, the only honest thing is the grime on the window. But I already knew I was going to take her money, and I knew I was going to regret it. Tell me everything, and try not to lie too much. It ruins the whiskey. After she explains everything, I tell her to have a good night, and she walks away, fading into the dark, as I can barely see her through the crack of my door left halfway open. The night was thick, but this is where the research begins. I was familiar with this case, but it's been a dead case for almost 6 years. I pulled the file from my drawer and blew off the dust, but something was written on top of the folder in red. Memento Mori, it said. I never used red ink, so somebody must have been rummaging through my desk again. Oh well. Damien was a hot case. I'll never forget that night after seeing what I saw. But today, I think we're getting close. I'll be honest, I never knew about Damien. I never even knew about this case. But I knew about the murder. Markiplier, Darkiplier, Wilford Wharfstash, Lixian, Lunky and Friends. On paper it seems preposterous, but there's something somebody out there is trying to tell us. But what is it? It all started with Lunky, one of Mark's creations, when his good friend Lixian, head of research, requested urgent leave. It was up to him to continue the project, but Mark couldn't do it alone. Hence, Lunky was born. But it seemingly goes even deeper than that. Or is someone gaslighting us into believing there is more than what meets the eye? Nah, it's that deep. Let me think back. In space with Markiplier, there was a portal, a crystal. This all connects. What does it mean? I remember Lixian appearing to us one time saying, "It's our turn to go into the hole." The hole? That sounds familiar. But before we go into the pink, this pink wormhole that's not blue. Wait, it's pink, not blue. Pink? There's only one thing that reminds me of pink. No, not stink. It's a mustache? Inside this hole, there's swirling clouds and flashes of blue light. Near the end, there's a break in the clouds that actually kind of looks like a side path to the left, but unlike in space, we don't have an option of left or right here. We just go through the main hole. We have no choice. And we're just met with darkness. And someone calling out to us saying, "Help me. Please help me. Only you can find the axe." Someone is asking for help, but who is that somebody? Only we can find the axe? Well, what do they mean? What are you telling me? What are you telling us? Well, first, I do remember this. Way back during the Damien case. It starts with Damien. The very first thing I remember, he's chopping down a tree with an axe, or so I was told. This is apparently a daily thing for him, and he chops down a lot of trees. But at the end of it all, when he finally confronted Mark or Dark, Damien didn't have his axe. Instead, Celine arrives using the axe to break through to Damien and giving it to Mark. Or Dark putting it in his chest. Chronologically, the next time the axe is picked up at the end of a fan game for Damien, made by Lixian just for Mark. At about the 48-minute mark, Damien and Dark sets his axe down as he's greeted by Wilford, which is then picked up by Lixian himself. Lixian is scratched up, presumably from this fight, with Lunky in 3 Scary Games 61, which has Lixian attempting to cage Lunky up, only for Lunky to break out, from what I remember. He would then go use the axe in 3 Scary Games 64 and 65 to kill the horror abominations that Mark featured in those videos. Since then, the axe was missing and it didn't show up again. But who took it and why? So the safe bet is that it's Lixian asking us to help find the axe so he could kill Lunky, right? After all this, I started to pay attention and see random hexadecimal codes and letters and codes hidden within Mark's horror videos. This is why I'm a detective, to figure these things out. We can use the substitution Caesar cipher method with Crypty giving us the code, which is translated to lead to a photo, which also translates to lead to another link that reads blank, 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 dot, blank. We're getting closer. Years go down the line, many codes were secretly added to more videos, and upon further deduction, we learned that the code is indeed a link that led to a website. And this is where the case was dead over a year, because we were left with words, but not a site. We only get theblankfiles.com. What would that last word be? Then I received an email about a Project Lunky. So I go and check out the location, but my memory goes blank. I remember waking up in a facility, finding a time crystal of some sorts, and I was stuck in a perpetual loop of killing these V-shaped monsters made of God knows what. I don't even want to know. At the end, I found Lunky reborn, destroyed him, or so I thought. Found Damien's axe and was thrown back into the abyss. Later, I woke up to a message from Lixian giving me the final code to all this nonsense, PJXKHDR. This code led to a link of a photo that could be translated the same way as the previous codes using a substitution Caesar cipher. The photo was also translated into a link that led to this website, hiddenfiles.itch.io/machine. And then when you run this machine, what is this? Another code. Hold on, let me decipher this real quick using substitution Caesar cipher. So we get snakes will split 1,000 rise. Or according to the research I've actually found from my friends online, the code is the amount of times that the word was shifted. Snake shifted twice, therefore 2. Will shifted 8 times, therefore 8. Split, that was shifted 6 times, therefore 6. 1,000, that was shifted 9 times, therefore 9. And then rise, that was 7. What do we get? Another code. Another image code, perhaps? I think this leads us to the final word of the link, void. Then that gives us thevoidfiles.com. So that means thevoidfiles.com. And all we need is a password. Maybe it was what was on the console? Snakes will split 1,000, no. 1,000 snakes will split rise? Or rise split? No. 1,000 snakes. No. 1,000 split snakes will rise. We did it. It's the Void Files. We cracked the code. I can't believe it. They said it couldn't be done. This is a air cleaner, by the way. This is not a vape. It's out of batteries, but it's condensed air blower. Better than compressed air. I definitely recommend this. Wait, back into character. I finally cracked the case. The Void Files. TVF_video01. It's the files. I can't believe it. Lixian.
Welcome.
Hey.
If you're here, that means we probably met at M-Labs.
I remember
After
you.
we last saw each other, I was chased by a bunch of those creatures.
Those lunkies.
From my lane here, and I seemed to be safe. at least for now.
That's
In
good.
the
That's
following
good.
weeks or months, no, I'm not sure. Time makes no sense in here. But I'll be sharing everything I found, both the things I've seen with my own eyes and everything on AmLabs. I have a computer here that is somehow connected to their servers. And although there's a lot of useless files, there's also a lot of important and disturbing ones. I will left some files for you here. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled when watching these videos. I'll stay in touch.
Wait, there's more? I thought there was gonna be... Oh, there's more. I thought there was gonna be a prize or something. More lore. The Void files. The Void. I don't know how I ended up here. Or ended up there. I was just there. In this dark, empty void. But simultaneously, it felt like home. The Void is where everything happened. Where I killed Lunky. Where I found and lost the axe. Where the entrance to MLabs was. Where he lied to me. Now I'm stuck in this place. There's no way out of here. I accepted that. I'm just hoping someone would read this and maybe, just maybe, scrape together enough information to put a stop to all this. Until then, I'll keep sharing everything I find. Anything I learn about them, you will know too. I will have to be subtle though. You cannot know anything about this. Or you cannot know I'm doing this. L. Who's L? MLabs profile M. MLabs redacted unis honest. Researcher profile M. Markiplier. Personal dossier M. Markiplier. CEO department. Content creator. Clearance level A+. Employee ID ML000. Status active. Academic background redacted. Project assignments unis honest. Markiplier was created in a lab. The Void files, MLabs, it appears as though he created this lab for one reason, to clone Lunky. He's not working alone though. Dr. Klein, the director, seems to be the brains behind the operation. She's the one turning these nightmares into reality. From the research I've done, I determined they initially tested on all kinds of creatures. Slugs, rats, frogs, spiders. That horrible spider with his face came from here. And apparently so did many others. From the 3GS lore. No way. However, something changed. They started using something else in their experiments, something that appears capable of creating consistent imitations of Lunky. The results were broken and horrifically mutilated, but they were also closer to the real version than any other experiment had achieved. Whatever they were doing was starting to work, at least until the whole place fell apart. But why so many clones? Is he building an army? Or is it something else? Why didn't he ever tell me about this place? And Dr. Klein? She looks familiar. Where have I seen her before? Celine? Dion? Dr. Klein. Dr. Klein. Without the E! Yo. Personal dossier. Dr. Klein. Director, lead scientist, experimental, genetic engineering. Project Lunky. Damien is Lunky. He's the first Lunk. Lunky's alive. Yeah, we know this. Lunky's alive. He's alive. I was so sure that I had killed it. I felt its entrails being ripped apart after I swung the axe. I remember the sound of them spilling onto the floor. I saw his body split, clean apart. I know it died, but I saw the footage. The video surveillance from MLabs. There he was, stitched back together, alive. Why would he do this? Why would he bring him back? He asked me to kill him, that it was either us or him. I believed him. What else did he lie about? And now it just keeps screaming that one word, whole, over and over. Why? The clones. He didn't just fix Lunky. There are more, a lot more. Like one wasn't enough. Twisted, disgusting, and malformed things that should never have existed. Like someone tried to force two slabs of meat to stand upright. And teeth. God, the teeth. All extruding from this awful, twitching, flinched flesh, as if the bodies themselves were trying to reject their own existence. The files call them split Lunkies. Looks like Lunky set them all free during this rampage. They tore the entire lab apart. They killed everyone. These insane Lunkies. Subject M121. The Spider. M Spider. Marcus Spider. Led by Dr. Cross. Description. Post-introduction observations indicate rapid somatic hypertrophy, rapid somatic hypertrophy, hypertrophy. The specimen achieved substantial increase in overall size within several days following initial development or inoculation. Unlike standard theraphosids, which typically possess 8 ocelli, subject M121 presents with 22 distinct ocular bodies arranged across the specimen's anterior facial region. Performance assessment: lethality high, locomotion slow, hunting utility unsuitable. The specimen's rapid growth and lethal capabilities warrant continued observation and genetic profiling. Wait, we got a whole SCP Markiplier universe? That's crazy. Wait, that's low-key kind of fire. Lixian over here creating a whole entire Markiplier SCP cinematic universe. Multiverse, actually. The Edge. The void may seem like an endless expanse of darkness, but there is an ending. I don't know how long I ran, but I was able to reach the edge once. It was when I was looking for it, before the axe. Looking over the edge, it seemed almost as deep as the void itself. Does it have a bottom? I feel like that's an answer I'm never going to get. I'm sure anyone who falls in there wouldn't live to tell the tale. But the edge proves that there is an end, which means that there might be an exit. Might. Still, I can't even leave this room, let alone the void. Feels like I'm inside a trap that's inside another trap, like Trapception. How long have I been here? We're at the edge of reality. The axe. That axe, I knew it was special the moment I held it. It made me feel dangerous, powerful, important, but I lost it. With it, I was able to easily cut down those horrific creatures, every single one of them, except the last. When I swung, it just bounced off like it was nothing. I'm not sure if it even touched it. It just flew into the void. I haven't even been able to find it since. Defenseless, I also went flying into the nothingness shortly after that by that creature's tongue. I felt different ever since that day. Weaker. Was it the axe? Was I only strong because of it? If so, why did I fail when I needed it the most? And more importantly, where is it now? L. Oh, L is Lixian. The yellow door. After we met, I ran from those creatures. The lab felt like an unending maze of bloody, twisting corridors. I could hear their awful screams as they chased me. Eventually, I stumbled into a dead-end corridor. 2 doors to my left and right, both locked. I braced to fight my way out of there. Suddenly, a yellow door appeared on a previously normal wall. With no other options, I opened the door and went inside. I slammed the door shut and barricaded myself against it. The Lunky smashed into the door seconds later, trying to force it open, screaming and clawing and pounding against it. I held it with all the strength I could muster. Suddenly, the banging stopped. I let go of the door, confused. Then a bright orange light flashed somewhere behind me. I turned and saw a small lamp-lit desk with 2 old monitors, a computer, a mouse, keyboard, and various other old electronics. When I looked back at the yellow door, it was gone. I am alone, stuck in this dark room with nowhere to go. How the hell do I get out of here? L. Lixian is stuck. We'll save you, L. Don't worry. What else? What else? I guess I'll keep on the lookout in Markiplier's future videos. Nah, in all reality, this is really cool. I was never really fond of these ARG stuff, or actually, I wouldn't say I was never fond. I never really dabbled into it because I was like, I'm not really much for scavenger hunts, but it's really cool the way they did this. I won't lie, I was like, why are you giving me extra work outside the game? But it makes it feel a little bit more interactive and realistic, so that's a nice little touch, man. I feel like Lixian low-key made like a Markiplier cinematic SCP universe within his own universe and other stuff. So that's really cool, man. This is so cool. Once I learned about the initial game that was going on, I was like, oh, I thought this was just fake. You know, Markiplier is just pulling their strings, playing with the audience, blah, blah, blah. But then there was a whole elaborate code and outside game, which was real. And you have to figure it out based off of what Lixian was giving us. And then he gave us a game that leads on That adds more to the game. I don't know. It's cool. I really like that noir detective stuff. And I feel like I'm on to something and we're figuring something out. And if anyone has figured anything out after this, please let me know. Because this wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for you guys. We can do this together. You and I, all of us as one, can defeat the one and only Lunkster Reborn. We could save Damien. Get rid of Darkiplier. Anyways, I guess there's more work to do. Columbo out.
Hey, yo, man's too lit. What's up? Like that flame, boy? Yeah. Hey, yo, man's too lit. I was too lit, so I gotta spread this love, boy. Yeah. Hey, yo, man's too lit. What's up? Like that flame, boy? Yeah. Hey, yo, man's too lit. I was too lit, so I gotta spread this love, boy.